Welcome back everyone. Yep, that is right. So, of course, before I get into this video, happy Halloween everyone. And of course, too, this day, of course, marks my 5th year on YouTube. Now, technically, my channel was created on May 12th, 2019. It was October 31st, 2019 that I began uploading. So, why not celebrate it with a quest review? Today's quest review is one that I've kind of been putting off for a couple of months actually, and that is, of course, Unfathomable Depths. So this one is a pretty simple quest. We run into a Argonian, and she gives us a lexicon. Now, for those who already have done Discerning the Transmundane or the main quest line, this whole thing is pretty familiar. And it's like some dwarven cube, pretty much is kind of important, just kind of that. So why does she have that? Well, that's a interesting question, and one I plan to take a look at later. But pretty much, we are tasked to return a lexicon to a dwarven rune that is located in the rift, and instead of things aren't exactly well, you know, probably can't find a decent word, but things aren't exactly what you would expect. Obviously, quite a lot has happened down there, and obviously I'll be covering that some other time. But our task is to, of course, return the lexicon, and that's pretty much just the rest of this quest. We go through a dwarven dungeon, find a ton of things, and return a lexicon. Now, of course, we do get a unique perk from this dungeon that is fairly useful, but that's really it. So, I guess the question is, how good was this quest? Does it help with anything? And should you do it? Well, honestly, this quest does help out with a couple of trophies, so it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't done already. It's a fairly interesting quest, but I think the most interesting part comes from what exactly happened to these guys. All of which I will plan to explain some other time. But should you do this quest, honestly, yeah, this quest is worth checking out. It's not the best one in the game, but it's still an interesting one, and doesn't really hurt to check it out. Of course, that's all I have to say for this one. So, of course, be back next time with a quest review of ancestral worship. So, see you all next time, and have a happy Halloween.